we got to Auschwitz, but you didn't know it was Auschwitz. I didn't know anything about it. I did not know about concentration camps. I did not know what was going on at all. When we got there, they told us, "Rouse! Rouse! Rouse!" They yelled with guns in hand. After being locked in the wagon for days, we had enormous difficulty in leaving the car lost in a panic. Our limbs had moulded to the mass of men and women in the cars and would not easily straighten again. They didn't let us take clothes at all. Then they started separating women from men separated from women, husbands from wives, mothers from sons, children torn from the arms of their mothers. The elderly were chased like cattle. The sick, the disabled were handled like packs of garbage. They were thrown in aside with broken suitcases, with boxes. My mother ran over to me and grabbed me by the shoulders and told me, "Liebler, I'm not going to see you no more. Take care of your brother." It was just terrible. It was just a nightmare. I started to get diarrhea. I was sick of diarrhea suddenly. Then we started going through the gates. The SS men were on both sides. I went to the right. They told me to go to the right, the SS men. And we were four like this. Five. We had to stay five. 5 girls. And it was dark. It was dark and they started to march us. Can you imagine the screams? The mothers going to the left. The daughters going to the right. The mothers going to the left. The babies going to the right. Or the mothers went together with the babies. Oi, oi, oi. I cannot explain to you the cries and the screams. And they're tearing their hair out. Can you imagine?
Someone standing nearby picked me up and took me to a woman who cared for me. She estimated my age and gave me a birthday. She said my name would be Erica.
It was light enough to see distant fences. We must be in a camp, and at least at the end of this misery. Perhaps the prophecy of our doom and death was wrong after all. The smoke, with the odour of burning flesh that we suddenly smelled, we passed off as the friction of the train wheels on the rails. As the locomotive crept forward, we saw strangers on the ridge, dressed in striped clothes, with matching berets, walking like zombies. We yelled to them, asking them to tell us where we were, but no words came back. Just a sign from one of them. He slid his hand across his throat in a cutting gesture. The others that stared at our car twirled their fingers to the air. We knew that this meant crematories. In the silence that followed, a boy, perhaps 16, asked what the strange gestures meant. No one answered him. No one wanted to share his grim thoughts. I looked at my father. He was shivering and his face was blue. I was in hell. It was hell.
She gave me a home. She fed me, clothed me, and sent me to school. She was good to me. When I was 21, I married a wonderful man. He lifted the sadness that often filled me, and he understood my desire to belong to the family.
This camp did not look like any we had seen before. The outside perimeter was fenced with heavy wire, with barbed wire on top. Along the inside ran what seemed to be an electric line. Perched above in towers with green uniforms, Waffen SS, their guns pointed into the camp. A sign at the gate read, "Stop! High voltage!" and a sign above the gate read, "Auschwitz." A sign below that read, "Arbeit macht frei." Work makes you free. We knew it wasn't a promise, not even a pledge. The truth was we were here to work until we died. And then we stood for hours, naked, until we were given old rags. And again, as if on purpose to degrade and debase the people, they would give tiny rags to the bigger women, while the smaller women were given oversized things. And some women only received a coat, without anything underneath, while others were given torn-in dresses, without anything over it. And no underwear whatsoever. Everything went quickly. We were totally at the mercy of destiny without being able to complain to anyone.
We had 3 children together, and now they have children of their own. And and in their faces, I see mine.
Next, we were ordered into another building that had a sign, browse, shower, which we feared most. The terrible words staring us in the face startled us. We are not safe, I thought. We are in their concealed gas chambers. Los Machen, they yelled, and we were pushed in the door from all sides. The large metal door locked behind us with a clang. We were in a large hall. We saw the shower heads hanging down. The prisoners who were already there stood praying, perhaps for all of us. My father's eyes were fixed on me. He was thinking, like me, that this might be our last moment together. My heart raced. Light rings swelled in front of my eyes. I closed my eyes and stopped breathing, fearing that the deadly gas would shower down on us at any minute. A passive silence persisted. Suddenly, I felt a trickle of water. I didn't dare to look up, afraid the miracle would stop. As I looked around, I saw that we were still on our feet, alive. Soon the water flowed steadily, and it did not smell or taste bad. I gulped down a mouthful. Water had never tasted so good or meant as much to me. With a burst of relief, we all felt that a new life had been given to us. It was our only happy moment in Auschwitz.
It was once said that my people would be as many as the stars in the heavens. 6 million of those stars fell between 1933 and 1945. Every star was one of my people whose life was savaged and whose family tree was torn apart. Today, our tree once again has roots.
Our star still shines.